Now, some people say that extrasensory perception is beyond science, and maybe it is. But here at NILabs, we conducted a little experiment to see just how easy it is to make it look like you have psychic powers. We invited Dr. Michael Shermer, the publisher of Skeptic magazine, to come and read people's futures.
There's something, I'm getting something about a scar on your knee, on your left knee, or you scraped your knees or something.
I scraped my knee.
You did?
Yeah.
Was this recently, or?
A couple of weeks ago. The thing about the knee was funny because I haven't scraped my knees in like 12 years, and I did just a couple of weeks ago. I fell down.
So this card tells us that there is a dominant. There's two things going on here. There is some spirituality in your life, either traditional religion or, if not traditional, at least a strong component of some sort of spirituality. Does that make any sense? How does that?
In different ways. Like when I was younger, my father was a Baptist minister.
Well, there you go.
That might be it. He wasn't stretching so much. I think he was pulling from things that were coming out of the cards, rather than pulling things from me.
There's, there's just a couple of weird little things I'm getting. I'm seeing a white car. I don't know what a white car means. If this is somebody in your family or your friend or something like that.
My grandma has a white car, and my friend from high school has a white car.
I started off saying I'm getting a couple of people here that are influenced. So I wonder if this other one with the white car thing is the grandmother. I wonder if it's grandmother sort of coming through in a sense.
Something that he picked up on that did surprise me was about the white car. I don't really know where that came from. I think that I will think about my grandma a little bit and maybe talk to her a little bit more.
So, Michael, you've never done this before?
Nope, never done it.
How long did you spend preparing for this session?
I prepared yesterday, basically one day. I got a book on cold reading. I took a few notes. I went online and I read some stuff on palms so I could memorize the lines, so I at least sound like I know what I'm talking about. If I can do this in one day, anybody can do it.
Why do you think it is that people are just drawn to this?
There is this transcendent idea that we can somehow transcend the here and now and connect the other side. There's no evidence that there is such a thing, but if somebody claims that there is, that pretty much is all that's needed with a handful of hits to convince people you can do it.
So describe a hit.
A hit would be anything that the client thinks is accurate or true. But what they don't realize is that these things are true for almost everybody. The skin knee, the white car. You see, what's going on here is the psychic's not doing the reading. The person is doing the reading. And here's the key. They remember the hits and forget the misses. And they think the psychic got the information, but they gave it to the psychic.
Opinions Now with your host, Chris David.
Astrology, is it real or bogus? Dr. Barbara Hale from some university somewhere, what do you think?
There is absolutely no credibility to astrology.
Quit waffling and answer now!
Since the zodiac was invented, the wobbling of the Earth caused the equinox and solstice points to move 30 degrees, so you weren't even born under the sun.
Dr. Hale, if you don't have an answer, just say so. My own personal astrologer, Ramses, what do you say?
Wait, your own astrologer?
Dr. Hale, you had your chance, now shut up. Now, Ramses.
Of course astrology is true. Didn't I say that someday you'd become the greatest talk show host?
It's true, folks. She did nail that one.
And that very soon, the networks will realize your genius and you'll blow this crummy cable gig for good.
Great predictions! Dr. Hale, how do you answer that?
Double-blind studies show that astrologers' predictions aren't any better than pure chance.
No answer. Ramses, she's the best. There you have it. Astrology is true, and you heard it now, here on Opinions Now.
Do you believe in astrology?
A little bit.
What makes you say that?
Because I can see the stars.
You probably know your sign, or do you? Try this. Wait for your birthday, then stay up all night and watch where the sun rises. It will pass in front of one of the 12 constellations of the zodiac. They say I'm a Sagittarius, so on my birthday you might expect the sun to rise in the constellation Sagittarius. And it did. 2,000 years ago when the Babylonians made all this up. But it doesn't now. In the last 2,000 years, the Earth has wobbled like a top. So now on my birthday, the sun rises in Scorpio, not Sagittarius. So maybe you'd have to be a Capricorn to be a Sagittarius, and Scorpios would have to be Libras. See, astrologers are off one full sign. In 2,000 more years, they'll be off 2 signs. But they don't seem to care. So, in these reflective moments, I ask myself, am I a fun-loving Sagittarius or a sexy Scorpio? We're going to let this burn down, and then we're going to walk across it, right?
That's right.
Is there something that you're doing with your mind?
Is there something hocus-pocusy about it? Yeah, there is.
Hocus pocus is your term. Is there something with your mind that you have to do in order to walk across the fire?
There absolutely is. You have to change your mind. You have to change your mind about your belief about being burned on the fire.
You have to believe that you won't get burned.
You have to believe that you won't get burned. If you can conquer this, think of how easy it is to conquer some of those other things that are getting in your way. You know, so that's what this fire walk is.
Management?
like management.
Like my old boss?
You don't believe that all you have to do is change your mind to walk on the coal.
No.
It's for you, it's pure physics, right?
Absolutely. The fire's going like crazy now. Yeah. It's bright light over here, but we're going to let it burn down.
Yeah.
And then we're going to reevaluate. I know what you're saying. You're saying, Bill, once in a while I read my horoscope. Or if I'm at a party and there's a tarot card or palm reader, I'll get a reading. I mean, what's the big deal? Who gets hurt? Well, maybe no one. But think back when you were a kid. Maybe you saved up your allowance for weeks so you could order some X-ray vision glasses. And you put them on, and you found that you couldn't see through walls, or maybe more disappointingly, people's clothes. You're no longer disappointed when the things advertised on the back of comic books don't work as you might expect. No, now you've got adult anxieties and adult insecurities. And boy, when you've got adult anxieties, do they have stuff for you? Rhinoceroses, beautiful animals, noted for their big, hard horns. Now, for a long time, people in Asia would kill the rhinoceros, cut off its horn, grind the horn up into a powder because they believed that that powder would help a guy out sexually, some sort of aphrodisiac. But rhinoceros horns are made about the same material as your fingernails. It's got nothing to do with human sex. There's no cause and effect here. I think the whole thing started when people looked at the shape. When I go walking through a store that has dietary supplements, there are a lot of products out there. I mean, a lot of products.
There are a lot of products.
So how do you tell the good from the bad?
Well, it's really a consumer beware market right now because these supplements that are out there aren't regulated by the